As January 2026 progresses, one question has quietly but persistently taken over global fan discussions. Where is Jungkook? Unlike moments marked by dramatic appearances or frequent updates, the early weeks of 2026 have been defined by something else entirely: silence. Jungkook's reduced public visibility has not gone unnoticed. In fact, it has become the center of intense online discussion across fan communities, social media platforms, and even entertainment commentary. There has been no official announcement, no teaser, no confirmation of any upcoming project, yet the conversation continues to grow. For an artist of Jungkook's stature, silence itself is rarely interpreted as absence. More often, it is read as preparation. In the global music industry, particularly within K-pop, periods of low public activity are often strategic. Artists frequently step back from the spotlight before major announcements, album preparations, or shifts in artistic direction. This pattern is not unique to Jungkook, but his history makes the current moment especially intriguing. Fans recall previous phases in which Jungkook appeared less publicly active, only for significant projects to follow later. While no two situations are identical, pattern recognition plays a major role in how audiences interpret the present. Importantly, fans emphasize that this speculation is not based on rumor, but on observation. Jungkook has never been an artist who relied on constant exposure. Throughout his career, he has often chosen quality over quantity when it comes to public appearances. This approach has shaped his image as an artist who prioritizes preparation, craft, and internal focus rather than continuous promotion. At the start of 2026, this characteristic becomes central to the conversation. Supporters argue that reduced activity does not suggest disengagement, it suggests concentration. In an era defined by oversharing, Jungkook's restraint stands out. Online fan discussions reveal a wide range of interpretations. Some fans express concern, emphasizing the importance of rest and personal well-being. Others view the quiet period as a positive sign, suggesting Jungkook may be dedicating time to creative development. Across platforms, one sentiment remains consistent: attention has not faded. In fact, Jungkook's absence has intensified engagement. His name continues to trend, his past performances are revisited, and theories, carefully framed as speculation, continue to circulate. Silence, in this case, fuels curiosity rather than distance. From an industry standpoint, low visibility can serve multiple purposes. It can signal preparation for a major release, it can indicate internal restructuring or creative experimentation, it can also reflect deliberate pacing to avoid overexposure. Entertainment analysts caution against definitive interpretations. Reduced activity does not automatically mean a project is imminent. However, in Jungkook's case, his established pattern of careful timing makes the speculation understandable. Crucially, no credible sources have reported conflict or disengagement. This absence of negative indicators reinforce the neutral to positive tone of current discussions. Few artists can generate headlines without saying anything. Jungkook belongs to that category. At the start of 2026, his name alone continues to attract attention. Media outlets note that even minimal references to Jungkook spark engagement levels that many active artists struggle to achieve. This phenomenon speaks less about hype and more about cultural positioning. Jungkook has reached a point where his presence, or lack thereof, holds narrative weight. Silence becomes content. While speculation often leans toward upcoming projects, some observers urge balance. Low public activity can also reflect rest, reflection, or personal time, especially following intense periods of work. Jungkook has previously spoken about the importance of maintaining balance, though he has not commented on his current status. Fans increasingly acknowledge this perspective, emphasizing respect over demand. The discussion evolves from expectation to understanding. This shift marks a maturing relationship between artist and audience. Looking beyond Jungkook, similar patterns appear across the global music industry. Many high-profile artists choose early-year quiet periods to recalibrate before unveiling major projects later in the year. January, in particular, is often used for preparation rather than promotion. Viewed through this lens, Jungkook's low activity aligns with broader industry rhythms rather than anomaly. This context tempers speculation while keeping curiosity alive. Anticipation itself is powerful. The longer the silence continues, the more meaning audiences attach it to it. For Jungkook, whose artistic choices are closely watched, anticipation amplifies emotional investment. Fans do not simply wait, they analyze, revisit, and reflect. This psychological dynamic turns absence into engagement, reinforcing Jungkook's influence without requiring constant output. Any discussion of Jungkook inevitably intersects with BTS. With group activities on the horizon, some fans speculate that Jungkook's low visibility could relate to preparation for collective projects rather than solo endeavors. Others argue that individual preparation and group planning are not mutually exclusive. What remains clear is that Jungkook's silence is not interpreted as separation, but as alignment with a broader trajectory. Responsible media coverage plays a critical role in shaping narratives. Most outlets addressing Jungkook's low activity have framed their coverage carefully, emphasizing uncertainty, avoiding definitive claims, and highlighting the absence of official confirmation. This approach reflects a growing awareness of the impact speculative reporting can have on artists and fans alike. In this context, Jungkook's silence is treated as a topic of discussion, not assumption. As January 2026 continues, one dominant interpretation begins to solidify among observers. Jungkook's low public activity does not feel accidental. In an industry where visibility is often carefully managed, silence is rarely random, especially for an artist of Jungkook's stature. Fans and analysts alike point out that Jungkook has access to platforms, resources, and opportunities to remain visible at any time. His choice not to do so, therefore, is read as intentional restraint. This interpretation does not assume secrecy or hidden announcements. Instead, it frames Jungkook's quiet presence as a deliberate pause, one that allows focus without distraction. In this sense, silence becomes a form of control. One recurring theme in fan discussions is the tension between creative preparation and public expectation. Audiences have grown accustomed to constant updates, behind-the-scenes content, and real-time engagement. Jungkook's approach challenges that rhythm. By stepping back, he disrupts the expectation of constant access. For some fans, this initially creates uncertainty. For others, it reinforces trust. Trust that Jungkook values preparation over performance of productivity. This balance between creation and consumption sits at the heart of current speculation. Notably, speculation surrounding Jungkook's low activity remains largely positive. There are no reports of conflict, health issues, or professional setbacks. Official channels remain neutral. Media coverage avoids alarmist framing. This absence of negative indicators plays a crucial role in shaping perception. When silence occurs without controversy, it is more easily interpreted as rest, preparation, or strategy. In Jungkook's case, neutrality itself becomes reassuring. Periods of uncertainty often reveal the depth of fan-artist relationships. As Jungkook remains quiet, fans shift their behavior. Instead of demanding updates, many engage in retrospection, revisiting performances, interviews, and past works. This reflective mode transforms speculation into appreciation. Rather than asking what is coming, fans begin asking what has already been built. Such behavior suggests a mature fandom dynamic, one that prioritizes respect over immediacy. Ironically, Jungkook's low activity has increased his visibility on social media. Mentions surge whenever his name appears, even indirectly. Old clips resurface, discussions expand. Silence becomes a catalyst rather than a barrier. Algorithms respond to engagement, not presence. As a result, Jungkook remains embedded in digital conversations despite minimal input. This phenomenon underscores his cultural position. Attention follows him, not the other way around. From a strategic perspective, early-year quiet periods are common among major artists. January is often used for internal planning, rehearsals, and creative alignment, rather than public promotion. Releases and announcements tend to cluster later in the year. Seen through this lens, Jungkook's low activity aligns with industry norms, rather than deviation. This contextual understanding tempers speculation while reinforcing its plausibility. Another central question remains unresolved. Is Jungkook's silence tied to solo work, group activity, or both? Fans avoid definitive conclusions, acknowledging that preparation for BTS-related projects and individual development often overlap. Jungkook's identity has always existed within this dual framework. Rather than separating solo and group narratives, many view the current period as alignment, a moment where individual focus strengthens collective outcomes. This interpretation keeps speculation grounded. One explanation frequently offered by longtime fans is simple. Jungkook prefers to let results speak. Throughout his career, he has often appeared after preparation, not during it. This pattern reinforces the idea that visibility follows completion, not process. If this pattern holds, silence is not emptiness, it is incubation. Such an approach contrasts sharply with modern promotional cycles, making Jungkook's method feel deliberate and increasingly rare. Despite repeated reminders that nothing has been confirmed, speculation continues. This persistence reflects Jungkook's influence more than any specific expectation. Artists without cultural weight do not inspire sustained discussion during quiet periods. Jungkook does. Speculation in this context is not impatience, it is engagement. It demonstrates that audiences remain invested even without stimulus. As January 2026 moves forward, Jungkook's low public activity remains unchanged, and so does public interest. No official statements have resolved the questions. No announcements have clarified the narrative. Yet the absence of closure does not diminish anticipation. Instead, it reframes it.